Okay, so I've just been asked a question by Bioresonance, what have you, trying to compare the antique Tesla healing devices to a modern day terahertz wand, and will it break because it's over 100 years old? So the first answer to that would be, well, how do we make things today? Do we make them like we did 100 years ago? And the answer is, empathetically, no, we don't. We don't make things to the quality and to the standard to what we were making something back in 100 years ago. Like, when you're making something 100 years ago, are you putting in mahogany? Why are you putting in mahogany? Why are you putting in beeswax? Why are you focusing on the attention to the details? Because they were building things to last. It could be a motorcycle, it could be an engine in a car, it could be everything and anywhere, it could be a building. Back in the 100 years ago, we were building things to last. We weren't a throwaway culture. We were pouring all of ourselves into what we were building. We weren't limiting ourselves. We weren't limiting ourselves 100 years ago. We weren't limiting ourselves. We were building things with integrity. We were building things of quality. So that's number one. They don't build things today to the standard. Like, if I take 100-year Tesla healing device and it still works. It just needs new cabling. It needs a bit of a fine tune, a bit of a clean up, and we're good to go. You know, imagine taking a terahertz wand 100 years from today. What's it going to do? Compare the two. You take a Tesla machine from 100 years ago and it still works. Imagine what a terahertz wand's going to be in 100 years from today. Do you see? Also, the terahertz, if you factor in today the geoengineering and the nanotechnology, I'm not being negative, I'm just trying to place a fact. The fact that we are experiencing geoengineering. How is that affecting us? How is that affecting the human being? And when you look into terahertz frequency, is very different to the antique technology, the Rife machines, the Tesla machines, the Lakhovsky, the Faradic, the Galvanic, the Udin, all the different technology from the 1900s is very different to the modern terahertz wand. Now, the terahertz wand they didn't tell you this. They use weaponized Tesla frequencies and terahertz radiation, terahertz wands, with the microwaves and specific red light and blue light to actually excite the nanosynthetic biology. So if you're looking into the softworks, now this is not negative, this is just looking at it from, say I was a student today studying the Internet of Bio-Nano things, or Bio-N-Tech, if I was working at DARPA and I was learning how to help a soldier that had lost some limbs, or I'm working with Tesla in Neuralink, they're going to be using terahertz frequencies to help in the self-assembly with the smart dust and the graphene and the different kinds of self-assembling technology. They're utilizing the terahertz wand. Now, that's kind of in the frequency of the digital and the analog, and they're using those vibrations to help with the self-assembly. And I'm a bit more of a disruptor, so I prefer the antique analog technology that actually helps in disrupting the self-assembly. I'm a bit more of a kind of green neck. I want to kind of, like, you know, if there was a if moonshine was illegal, I would have been hanging out with the NASCAR hillbillies, you know, working out like how we can get the moonshine across the border. So I'm more into, like, how can I disrupt this synthetic biology? I don't see it as a negative, you know. There is good that can come from the nano, but personally, I don't consent to it self-assembling in my body. And am I breathing it in from the geoengineering? Some of my friends have shown me that stuff is self-assembling, you know. So Personally, I don't want to encourage it. I want to lower the payloads and focus on my pathology of strength, health and beauty. But then if I'm also looking into, okay, they're bringing out this, you know, this dark kind of replicon. I don't subscribe to the whole stupid Matrix. I don't subscribe to the Terminator 2 rubbish and the Hanson robotics. But I'm a little bit more in the Blade Runner kind of camp. And I'm like, well, okay, you know, but I'm actually not even in there. I kind of believe that this is the important factor. This is the important factor, the sun. You know, I think the great, so if I can focus on the great in the food, the great in the medicine, the natural medicine, it can be all kinds of medicine, and the great in the technology, then I'm doing the best that I can. And so for me, if it's not broken, why fix it? Yeah, I can build anti-nano triangles, but the anti-nano triangle is also Tesla technology. So I kind of like the analog and the acoustics, but without any trickery. Like, look at the TZLA machine. It isn't really a Tesla machine, and it isn't really the eclipse of what a Tesla machine would be today. I was saying to someone yesterday, if Tesla was around today, he might not even be doing Tesla machines. He might be an organic gardener doing no-dig gardening and doing all that good stuff. Hey, Sean, how you doing, brother? How are you, my man? What a beautiful day. You must be having a fantastic day, man. Look, if it's like this here today in Blighty, you must be having an awesome day there, bro. Look at that. Look at that. It's blue. Blue, blue. Barney McGrew. Cuthbert Dibble. Whoop. So it's a beautiful day here in Wales. I think I've answered this question. Look into Quercetin. Do you mean quirk? I've looked into it. It is in the literature, but the problem with some of those things today is what you want to look into is does it because I know quercetin in the sense of I think it's in quinces. I think it's in quince, the fruit quince. So the problem I have, so explain to me, share with me what it means to you. Share with me in the comments what it means to you, and then I'll digest it, and then I'll spit out where I'm coming from. Because, like, you could say to me, oh, ivermectin, or you could say to me, you know, magnesium. I need magnesium, or I need selenium, and then I'll give you my rebuttal to what I think, and I'll share it with you now. While you're answering that question, I'll share it with you with where I'm coming from. So where I'm coming from, when I look at the technology, when I look at the medicines, when I look at the food, what I'm looking at is like, how am I to nourish my cells? So you could think of the words like metabolism or cellular health. And bear in mind, that is just a compartmentalized way of looking at the human being. So how I like to look at the human being is from a more shamanic perspective, whereas I'm looking at it as, okay, when my dog goes out today, my dog ain't thinking, oh, I need to get my magnesium. My dog ain't thinking, oh, I need to make sure I'm getting my vitamin C. She ain't thinking, I need to get my vitamin D. Let's look at the things in nature. You know, the things in nature, they ain't going, oh, yeah, much love to you too, Sean. The things in nature aren't going, oh, you know, the eagle ain't going, oh, today I've got to make sure I get my my adrenals or my, you know, make sure I get my beef liver, whatever. It's not thinking that. It just thinks, right, I've got to go and kill something. I've got to eat it. I'm going to go and get some prey. So when I'm looking into like, okay, what do I need for my body to function optimum? I'm thinking, okay, my grandmother, who was a very wise lady, thought that I needed dairy, quite importantly. She thought that I needed organ meats. She thought that I needed bone broth. These are some of the, she had an ancient Greek recipe. So all the human being that I am today is based on the knowledge of my grandmother's love for her grandchild, Zish. Her immutable Zish. Immutable Zish is here today. And within me, I have the downloads from grandmother, like you do. Tenerife party plug. 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. Yeah, you've got your natural instinct. You've got your God-given right. You've got the makeup, the genetic makeup of Sean. You've got the genetic makeup. So the number one, so the keep it simple, stupid. If you can explain it to a kid, you're good to go. If you can explain it to your grandmother, 7 generations, you're good to go. So for me personally, I think it's important to bring in saturated fats. So that can be from beef tallow, that can be from your butter, that can be from your ghee, that can be from your tallow, your lards. You know, so whatever animals they've got in Tenerife, it could be like sheep, it could be goat. You take everything. Yeah, your ancestral blueprint of who you are, correct. So you're bringing in, and now quince is in there. Quince, like when I look at the word quercetin, I can see quince is in there. I'd have to get my family, I think it is in the family physician book. The quercetin is in, yeah, zeros. Like if you're not at ground zero, you're not in the yin and the yang. You got your yin, your yang, and you got the 0 point, which is the scala, which is the seen and the unseen. We don't need to know everything, but what I do know is that if I bring in the healthy fats, if you're not enjoying your life, if you're not enjoying the food, if you're not enjoying working with the technology, if you're in a state of stress, then you could, if you're not breathing correctly, if you're not breathing properly, if you're not grounding, if you're not having fun, I know you're having fun, so you're already a bit tiggerific. So if you're already coming from that state of mind, whatever you're then bringing in the nourishment of the food, the subtle energy of mood, it has to be things like really good quality fat. You know the farmer, you know the fat that he's giving to you, you got the bones coming in from him, you're eating some of the organ meats, you're eating your favourite cuts, you're having your nice goat stew or your lamb stew, whatever food you can get there, your unpasteurized dairy, your raw cream, your raw milk, your ice cream, your lemons, your almonds, your essential oils. I'll send you a link for the fellow who's expelling the nanotechnology with quercetin and 4 salt baths. Yeah, it's good to have an understanding or an overstanding or an inner standing or wherever you're choosing to stand. But look, just for the common man, we just say we're understanding. I'm understanding. I don't even look. If you give your power away, you give your power away. But I could say the word understanding. I ain't giving any of my power away. Truth. Who is this person? Who is this human being? With quercetin. Right. Okay. So it's so simple though, right? So all you need is the 4 salts. So you got your trisodium phosphate, your borax, your Epsom salt, your sodium bicarbonate. You don't need the quercetin. I don't know, like that might be not necessary. Like, because all you have to do then really is add some vinegar, because it comes down to simple basics. But you can get the same if you're going into the salt water, if you're going into the hot spring, if you're going into the waterfall. If you're doing the grounding, you're doing good anyway. You probably do need an anti-nano triangle. I would get a Tesla healing device. Now, the reason the Tesla devices are good, Sean, is because they're doing electrons from the electricity, the photons and the plasma from the 1900s, which is actually all-encompassing and connecting you to all of your cosmic ancestors. It's beautiful. Then you're getting the sterilization from the ozone, and then you're getting the lymphatic from the different electrodes that you're using on the body. And if you use the electrodes on the different organs of the body, this ether technology, see, this is the problem in the world today. Most people are looking, even the nano and even the AI, as you know, we've got the blockchain, we've got that wisdom as an AI mystic or as a solar punk. As a solar punk, you know that the number one fuel is the sun. The number one fuel is the sun. Is the grounding, is the chi energy. And then you're bringing in your essential oils. Like, look at this. Look what I got on me right now. This oil, Sean, is really important. Laurel leaf. Get some laurel leaf. This is a good company. Revive Essential Oils. Yeah, Revive Essential Oils. I would probably I'd get into the slim spurling technology as well. If you want one of these, I can get you one. They're about £150. Let me show you. This is the slim spurling harmonizer. Sacred Qubit, 144 hertz. Sacred Qubit, 144 hertz. With the AccuVoil in the middle. And then you've got the piezoelectric from the quartz crystal, the piezoelectric. So that's your acoustic. I'm going to be bringing out some acoustics as well, some acoustic instruments. Yeah, thank you for the link. I'll check it out. Yeah, you only really need, like, I put the black salt in there as well, Sean. The black salt's important because of the sulfur. I'm starting to put copper in there as well. They're saying that the chemtrails are pulling copper out of the body. So you can put and I would work with things like, I've got a really good stack, like, I've got some really good supplements. So you can get superoxide dismutase from my Revive It All, which is a really good arginine combination. I've got a really good super male formula that's got things like your deer antler extract, your green lipid mussels, and all those kinds of things going on in there. I think there's quercetin in one of my formulas, actually. And then I got my green powder that's got the rice bran tocotrienol. Now, the reason the rice bran tocotrienol is really important is because the rice bran tocotrienol is the fat that burns fat. And then you're bringing in your fermented foods is really important. So you're getting your enzymes from the fermented foods, like your kimchi and all that kind of stuff. And then doing things like a little bit of yogurt, a little bit of egg yolk. Eggs are really important, egg yolk, with a little bit of iodine and a bit of collagen. So your bone broths are really important. But you start doing that as well daily, start bringing that in, really, really important. A little drop of iodine in a nice bit of yogurt, a little bit of egg yolk. So can you see, I'm just keeping it so freaking simple. I do miso every day, I do olive oil every day, I do beef tallow every day, I'm doing my essential oils every day, smoking a cigar, you know, every other day, smoking a nice cigar. Cigars are really important for the brain. Forget all that nicotine destroys nanotech. That's bullshit. They're trying to get you on the nano patches. So just don't bring in the silica. Don't bring in the titanium. Be aware of the products that you're bringing in. They're slipping in silica in everything. And silica is just something that right now, with the battle that we're winning, we don't want to be adding insult to injury. So like no C60, no methylene blue, no activated charcoal, no nano silver, no zeolites, keeping it so simple that you can explain it to a child. Got it? You keep it so freaking simple that the child just knows the truth. You're a child. You know the truth. Obviously you're a man, but you're still that child. That's why me and you connect. We're still those disruptive, naughty boys. Oh, yeah, you do. I'm sure you do too, Sean. I don't even know how we reconnected, but it's really great to connect with you again, man. Are you still dialing into that genius dude, whatever his name is? The genius dude. Look at that cloud. Look at that cloud. Look at that. Yes. Look at that. Yeah, I'm good, man. I can't complain, bro, man. I can't complain. Every day is like just... I won't lie, man. Every day is just freaking awesome, bro. Like, every day is just magnificent. Like, what is going on right now? I can hear... I go into a lot of these, like, nano groups, and it's, like, so, like... it can be quite depressing, actually. But I just connected today. You got to check out this guy. Check out a man called johnbauer.com. He's doing this whole thing on Informatica. johnbauer.com. I'm going to be doing a podcast with him quite soon. Amazing. It's good when you find elders that are kind of holding the frequency of where we're going to. He's actually into the blockchains. Yeah, Dr. Mosen. You still downloading the Dr. Mosen wisdom? I see Dr. Mosen as like some sort of like uncle. He's like just proper like amazing, like how much energy that man's got for doing what he's doing. It'd be good to hear him more, though. You know, I'd want to hear him more. I can't read all that stuff. It's just too much. I'd rather just like listen to him. You know, that would be good. All right, man. Anyway, so yeah, but the quercetin, I haven't looked at it, but I know one of those Q words. If it came, like, this is the thing. If it came out during the boogeyman and they mentioned it as a solution with your ivermectin and your zeolites and the fenbendazole and all that kind of rubbish, even your chlorine dioxide, my body can't tolerate all that, like, it's too much. So I like to keep it so simple. If it can reproduce itself in nature and my body can recognize it, then I'm bringing it in. So I like to keep it simple, stupid. But if the quercetin is working, what I would do is I'd play with it with just the salts and then take it out. The main salts... yeah, I've disconnected as well. For me, it was like I was more in the stream with you in that moment in time with the energy, and then I found that there was some yeah, it's sometimes you can be so academic that you're wrapped up in the academic, and then you just become a brain. And I think that is really, that's what the enemy is, just intelligence. They're lacking the disconnect of the heart and the doing and the living. The living is the key here, is the ability to just live. And I think that's the most important thing to do, is just to live, to be living your life to the fullest, to the most expression and expansion, and just being all that you can be. We're only here for a short space of time right now, so we may as well be all that we can be and do what we love, you know, live the life you live the life you love the life you live, and just be all that you can be, right? I think that's the most, for me and you, is just being a great dad, right? The legacy of being that father to your twins and being present for them and not missing a moment in their life, you know, and just self-education and, you know, being a dinosaur, being the dinosaur that you are, and being all that you can be. I think, therefore I am, right? I think, therefore I ambient, you know, and having fun. Did you enjoy the orange? Did you enjoy me eating my orange? My orange was my love. All right, man. Anyway, have a great day. I'm going to chime out. I wanted to answer his question. I think I answered his question. I wouldn't even waste my time with that terahertz shit. It's just look, antiques are antiques. They don't build shit like they used to. If somebody wants an amazing antique Tesla machine, come to me. I'm like vetting them because I'm into it. I'm all in, obsessed with the technology because I love the technology. I love like where we've come from. It's not something to shy away from. We've come from strength. We've come from health. We've come from beauty. Look at my ducks. Look at my ducks. Look at that sun, Kate. Look at that sun, and the ducks are happy, aren't they? Tootin. This is Tootin. Hello, Tootin. Tootin. Where you going, Tootin? Come back. That's Tootin the duck. He's all right. He's a right fella. Hello, Mr. Brandy Bran. Look at Brandy Bran. Tootin. Tootin. Hello, Tootin. Have a good day, wherever you are in this world, chiming in from. It's a beautiful day. I think I'm going to take my feet and put them on the ground. I'm going to put my feet and put them on the ground. Put my feet on the ground. Okay, so how are you anyway, Sean? You good? You good? How is everybody? Who's the other person, human being chiming in? Oh, just taking my socks off. Oh, it's so nice. We've really earned this day, haven't we, Kate, of sun? We really need this day of sun. What a day. Happy Easter, people. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter to people. It's a good day. Hello, Florida. Florida in the house. How are you, Melissa? Pleased to meet you. I've been checking out North Florida. It looks amazing. Been checking out North Florida. I watched Peter Santinello. He goes around America. But North Florida looked really good. I was talking to a gentleman today from, he was from Texas. Sounds good. Okay, I'm going to go now anyway. Nice to chime in. Happy Sunday wherever you are in the world. And have a great day. From my heart to yours, Brother Zish.